winter times than it is like
Fair.
spring. So,
That's fair. Nice. Okay. Well, I think I think I got a decent session together for you.
sounds fun.
Um, did you ever see anything about Jaden's solo sessions?
I just watched the beginning for a bit.
Okay.
Uh, so and much too much of
'Cause-
it.
yeah, because we're gonna kind of follow that same structure to an extent. Um, so these first round of solo sessions, I like the idea of going back a little bit
Hmm.
and kind of exploring who you were before the events of the island, and then kind of I think it makes it that much more impactful after the events of the island, that kind of thing. Um, and there are a few gaps in this, just like with Jaden's, and that's really in the name of because it is kind of maybe not an origin thing, but
Hmm.
because it is kind of like I guess you could say an origin story. I like to leave gaps so that way you can have more say in it as
Yeah.
well, because I mean it's yours. Um, so with that being said, I think I am all good and dandy to go. How are you doing? You all set for the most part?
Yeah, should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So, let me get all my junk out of my pockets so I can not fidget with them. Just this thing. Yeah, I need to clean this room. It's so hectic in here. Golly. Stick my drink down here so I don't knock it over. Move my light here so I can actually see. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, and out of curiosity, this is more for I guess I don't know. This might just be more for me, but I feel like asking everyone this just out of curiosity. In your opinion, when it comes to Daniel,
All right.
from who he was versus kind of like based on the events or the things that you've done on the island so far, what are some things that maybe like have changed with Daniel or has anything or um even if it's just mindsets or thoughts or really anything. Obviously no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious.
Well, I don't think it's happened yet, but there's obviously going. He's he's going to have to question his sense of justice soon, because with Artie, he doesn't know the entire story apparently, and once he figures it out, he has made a promise to the king, but I'm not unsure if he will be able to fulfill it and what that means to him, and even if that keeps his oath.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Anything else is he's basically has
Yeah,
to act the same way he's done his entire life. Besides
for,
that,
for sure. Cool. All right. Well, I think we will go ahead and kick it off. And because it's a solo session, I get to do all the monologuing I want. Strap in, Demon Child. That's what they used to call you. In fact, there was a time where you almost wanted to believe them, to give in to your demonic bloodline, just to shut them up. But no. Inside, you knew you were greater than any of them see. And one day, these ones that would curse you would actually be bragging that they were once in your company. Daniel, would you tell us a little bit about your mother, Melody?
haven't thought too much about her.
From what you, I had to revisit some of our old conversations and stuff, so I don't just keep all this in my brain. That's for sure.
Yeah.
From what you had told me originally, grew up relatively poor. Father was not in the picture. It seems like Melly did not really like to bring him up or answer questions about him. It seems that she was a good mom.
Yeah.
Though she struggled. She did what she could. Are there any particular things that, if not, it's all right. Are there any particular things that, I don't know, maybe lessons she taught you in your life, or occasions that maybe just meant something to you that Daniel might remember while he's on the island, in the future?
Sorry, I was well thinking. I'm hearing like the water trickle in the background.
It's so annoying. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I need to add water to my tank.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, we used to have fish in the house, so we do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And so we just move them all outside. It becomes so much more quiet. I can't think of anything specific right now.
That's all right. That's the beauty of a solo session, is if at any point you want to be like, oh, my mom used to do this, or I have this memory, just throw it in. This is what it's all about. We're kind of developing your backstory a little bit, so It's all good. But yeah, Melody was far from perfect. She supported you the best she could, and through the many poor and unfortunate years of the academy that you went through, you were able to make it through. And not just that, but you actually excelled. You were determined, and finally graduated top of your class, and went on to find yourself here, the headquarters of I-Corps. The I-Corps, just to be specific, not the I-Corps that we have around here.
Yeah, I was wondering if you knew about I-Corps.
Yeah, I do.
I knew a lot of people worked at I-Corps and it sucked, and I was like, oh no.
I applied there a long time ago, and I'm so glad I didn't get the job.
Yeah.
But in this world, I-Corps is a detective police agency in the heart of the large city of Travelon, just north of the Great Railway Station, within the rainy gray country of Lexidar. Which, by the way, you are the first. This isn't going to mean much to you probably, but you know how I've said all my stories take place in chronological order and they kind of build off of each other. You are the first person ever to be in Lexidar as far as players go. So more or less, I created a whole country for you. So there you go. And I'm excited to use it in the future. So it's cool.
All right.
But yeah, you've come here in hopes that you can prove your worth to the Chief of Police, Chief Fraser, and really show him that your services are of great value to the organization. You've come here for a career. Let's see. Now, your nerves have not been quite this high in a long time, but as you walk through the narrow gray brick hallway lined with torches leading towards the conference room where the chief and the I-Corps board members sit, you feel clammy sweat creep onto your forehead. You're fairly nervous. And when you arrive to the large wooden double doors, the curved brass handles, each depicting one half of a scale, you know this to be a symbol of justice and truth, as we know. You whisper a silent prayer to Tyr as you raise your hand and you knock 3 times. It's pretty quiet. What's going through Daniel's head at this moment while you're waiting?
Sense of fear, not knowing what would lie beyond this door. Some small bits of pride, knowing that I did make it all the way here from my life, and some hope that if this goes well, I can help people in the future who've been wrongly accused.
Awesome. As these are going through Daniel's mind, at last the door opens up, and your eyes are met with large blue reptilian eyes belonging to the green-scaled dragonborn chief. He wears a finely tailored black leather armor with 2 gold chains around his neck, bearing the same scale symbol that is on the door handles. And he speaks to you and goes, "Sir, my deepest apologies, but we have pressing matters to attend to this evening. We have no time to accept more reports at the moment. Come back next week. We'll be happy to hear your complaint." And he turns and begins to close the door again. Would you like to say anything to him?
Why am I here? To you, like you just placed me here. I'm not unsure why I'm here. Did I come here like searching for a job or something?
Yes, yeah. You came here looking for a career as you've completed your law enforcement academy. Now you're just trying to get in somewhere, and this is, for some context, this particular part of Lexidar, the city that you're in, is like the Big Apple. Like you're like New York City, like top of the top cops, and you're trying to make it, and you have the credentials to prove it.
All right. I'm not here to do any submit any complaints, sir. I'm here for a job.
A job?
Yes.
This really is not a fantastic time. We're very booked at the moment. What's your name?
I blanked on my own name. Daniel. I almost called myself Youngblood. What did I call myself? Daniel Song? No. Soul. Daniel.
Soul.
Yep. Daniel Soul.
Daniel Soul. We'll put your name on the roster. We'll have you back as soon as we can. Understand we are quite booked at the moment. And he kind of turns and starts closing the door again. It's actually when you hear another voice go, "Daniel Soul, wait!" And someone comes up to the door, and the door opens, and you see a familiar, friendly face that you've not seen in a long time. This is a friend of yours from the academy. It's the one soul who you remember believed in you, besides your mother, of course. Good friend. Haven't seen each other in a while. Tell me, what's your friend's name? And tell me a little bit about them. What are they?
All right. Yeah, give me a second. That's great. Let's go with Nick. Name's Nick.
Nick?
Yep.
Nice. I like Nick. And what is Nick? Is he just yeah?
I believe Nick's just human, but he does have extremely weird features about himself. I would imagine that he's actually I don't know if you know about this, but it's called Fey Touched.
Fey Touched?
Yes.
I'm vaguely, but what kind of features in particular stand out to the average person, would you say?
Let me look them up real quick. I mean, that's not the. I need the background. Oh, Fate Lost. Sorry,
What is it?
it's Fate Lost, not Fate Touched, but
Oh,
it's a background.
Okay.
Where he's. The main thing that's obviously off about him, everything looks basically human except his eyes.
Mhm.
Seems to be swirling with iridescent colors. Oddly
Nice.
enough.
I like it. I like it. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to add to him, or any I don't know, background story of how you guys maybe met in school, or things like that? If not, it's all right.
Well, I remember in school, it's not a lot of people talked to me, and there was a bunch of what you could call bullies, if at a police school, of course. You tend to wear eye protections a lot, like goggles, uh, anything anything like that. The
Mhm.
one day while people just would not stop, and he was well known, of course, but no one knew that he was this secret about his eyes.
Mhm.
So to stand up for me, he revealed it to everyone, and to show that even if someone looks different, they can still be a good person.
Sweet. I like that. Very good. Very good. So yeah, um, as Nick runs up to the door, he goes, "Daniel So, wait, I know him." And he runs up and he opens. Daniel, long time no see. How are you doing?
Very well, Nick. I was expecting to see you here.
Yes, yes. Well, my father got me a few connections, and here I am. I've been here for about 2 years now. It's been great until late. You're looking for work.
Yes.
And he turns to the chief and, Tavo, listen. This man, he's done phenomenal things in his class. Graduated top, better than myself, may I say. If anyone deserves a shot in, it's this guy. And Tavor looming over him. Tavor's a tall dragonborn. Like, Nick, you know that we can't just let people walk in with a job. There's procedures, there's processes. We have no actual proof to see his skill. Well, let him be my guest. Let him sit on a meeting. He's gone through the academy. He has his credentials, and maybe he can suggest some ideas. Seems like we could use some. Daniel, are you good at listening?
I'm all right with that, sir.
This once, Nick. This once. And as long as you don't talk too much, maybe we can talk about a job afterwards, right?
Aye.
This way. So you and Nick walk and kind of chat a little bit as you enter in and go towards the main meeting table of ICOR. You walk in, and it's a long staff meeting table surrounded by chairs, and there's several other members surrounding it. They're all wearing similar uniforms, although they seem to be like a dark brown leather rather than the black leather of Tavor. Let me poopsie poopsie. Let me text the girlfriend. She's off work. Okay. Cough. So when you find a seat next to Nick at the table, Tavor comes back and he puts down several papers on the table, and they seem to be different reports, statistics, and a few profiles of what you assume to be criminals of some kind. And he goes on to explain. Let's see. Let me see. And I kind of, like I said, I left a few gaps in my notes, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase, kind of be in character, but you'll get the point.
Yeah.
He goes on to explain that the current issue they're running into is a chain of ongoing robberies. Specifically, robberies concerning a gang, a group known as the Collectors. There's 4 known members of the Collectors that have been identified that are not in custody. It seems that there's one leader, notably the one with horns, easy to stand out, seems to be the recognized leader of the group. Tavor says to the group, he goes, "If we can take down the horned one, we have reason to believe the rest of the company will crumble. Cut the head off of the snake, so to speak." As they're laying out the different, like I said, the different stats and this kind of thing, everyone's looking over them. Through about 30 minutes or so of discussion, one particular flyer ends up being the star of the table. It's an advertisement for a thing called Galvishi's Exhibit. Galvishi is an artist who has opened a new art exhibit, and it seems that they're going to be having an auction tonight of some very great artifacts and pieces of art that some of which do not need to be in the wrong hands. You're looking through the papers, and one of which stands out the most to you, and it's a golden, it looks like a spyglass. It's a golden spyglass encrusted with gems and crystals, almost like the crystals grew around it. And the title of the particular artifact says The Eye of Tyr. Nick turns to you as you look over this and goes, "Have you ever seen that artifact before? Or is that new to you? I seem to recall you're a follower of Tyr, correct?"
I believe I've seen pictures in the past, but I know not of what it can do.
And Tavor chimes in. He goes, "Yes, the Eye of Tyr. It's a mighty item, crafted to look like a spyglass. It's said that looking through the eye can let you see one's deeds, the truth behind their thoughts, though some information is too dangerous to hold. And it's likely these thieves will use these tools of knowledge for some evil or perverse reasons. This seems to be what the Collectors may be after." Once that happens, Nick kind of nudges you. He goes, "Daniel, I know you've always been one to follow the rules, but you think we could take on this case? You and me?"
It seems you do need the help. And if that spyglass got in the wrong hand. I will help, yes.
Great. Well, speak up. Let's have a know. I'm sure he'll admire your courage.
All right. Let's just stand up. Sir, I recommend that you would put me and Nick on this. I know you do not know me well, but I've great feeling that this case might need. No offense to you guys, a pair of new eyes. Seems that you have trouble with this past before, and I cannot let that Eye of Tyr get in the wrong hands. If you're willing, let me help in this case.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Ah, yes. Persuasion is decent. That'd be a 6.
That'd be a 6?
Yeah.
So he looks you up and down and Mr. Soul, I admire your courage and willingness to hop on this case, but you would need a certified investigator to go with you, and you do not have your certification yet. That's when Nick hops up and goes, Sir, I happen to know a guy, and telling you Daniel is the best of the best. I'd be happy to take him as my cadet. With your permission, of course, sir. So, do you expect to be paid for this?
No, sir.
Nick, it looks like you have a new cadet. Get ready. We'll have you out by sunset tonight. Can you both be ready by then?
I could be ready now if you wished.
Nick goes, same as I say. We can do it. Best of luck to you both. Have it figured out tonight. Keep in mind, we need the head honcho of this case, of this gang. And he is to be brought in dead or alive. I don't care what you do. But if you kill him, I need proof. Understand?
Understood.
It's not a job for soft people. But if Nick says you're good, I hope he's right. And with that, are there any last remarks you want to make to Chief or anything before concluding the meeting? No. Okay. So, Nick and you get your stuff together. What am I doing? I'm looking at my notes. You get your stuff together, and they get you a little cadet uniform from the the supplier that they have there at the office, and Nick is ecstatic. He's so happy to be working with you again. He's missed you. He's talking about family. He's talking about friends and everything. And he even asks, "How's your mother doing? Is she doing all right these days?"
I haven't seen her in a bit, but from the letters, I believe she's been doing well.
Great. Well, if you wish, certainly, I'd love to aid in some contact. You said it's been a while since you received a letter.
It's been around a month, I say. With me traveling here, of course, it's been a while since I properly received a letter from her. So,
of course. Well, here, and he gets a little scroll kit together. If you would like to, use my messenger bed. Send your mom a letter. Let her know what's going on.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. If you would like to take a moment, you can text me, or you can go the Skype text and send me what you send your mother.
What did you say this town was called again?
Like the city.
Yeah, city. Sorry.
The city is called. It is new, so I have to refer to many things. Well, the country is Lexidar. Am I losing my mind? I know I said a city, didn't I?
I don't believe you actually said a city.
Okay, so
You-
I mean
you said-
the country is Lexidar.
Okay, Lexidar. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Lexadar.
Yes, and actually there is a city. The city you're in is Travalon. It's Travalon.
TRA. What A?
VALON.
BA. LO.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Alright. Send it to you through Messenger.
Sweet. Awesome. Perfect. Alrighty. So you guys send that off, and by the time about sunset rolls around, it's time for the mission to actually begin and everything. You two hop on a horse-drawn wagon that takes you to a large market area of the town, and then through a little opening, and eventually to a tall but skinny building. It seems to be at least a couple stories, and it seems to have a glass domed roof on it. And you see the signs, and you see people in very nice outfits walking in to Galvishi's exhibit. When you get to the door, let me see. Yeah, when you get to the door, you're met by a bouncer, bodyguard, bouncy, security guy, whatever we call him. And he asks for the credentials, and Nick holds up his little thing, goes beep boop, and shows him his credentials. And you both go in. When you go into the building, you are met with a large rectangular room. There's rows of seating that are in the process of being filled by very up-end looking individuals with champagne and wine in their hands. There's a door to your left that you see a few people going in and out of, and then further down on the right there's a door, although you can't see exactly where that leads to. Straight ahead, towards the back wall of the area, you see some pedestals where there's large paintings and things on display for everyone. And as you walk in a little further, you look up again at the glass dome ceiling, and you see that there's actually a indoor balcony surrounding it for like second floor viewing and that sort of thing. A small halfling woman, notably is probably Galvishi, this artist, whoever she is, that you've never heard of. She goes up, she goes,
"Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for showing up. We're going to start the auction soon, but for now, please look around and just take it all in. Enjoy yourselves. Rest."
And she hops off her little soapbox, and everyone starts looking around. There's 4 different artifacts on the ground level that you see. There is a painting of a flower. There is a pendant of some kind on a stand. There's a little purple statuette on another stand. And then it looks to be inside of a glass case. It looks to be that the Eye of Tyr is there. At this moment, what would you like to do?
So we went over the files real quick. Of the past robberies, right?
What's that?
We went over the files of the past robberies of the collectors, right?
Yes, briefly.
Is there anything that seemed to correlate between the break-ins? Any way they did it, like disguises, or did they all go through stealthily, or was it more of a robbery with them going in, being all threatening?
Yeah. So far from what you saw, you didn't get an excellent look at the documents because they weren't showing them to you too much, as you are kind of the new guy still. But based on what you got from the little you saw, plus Nick talking to you about it, it seems that they're pretty innovative in their robbery techniques. They have been known to just flat out rob and steal. Muggings have also just been a thing for them. However, they have been known to use disguises in the past, but they certainly change up their pattern here and there. They seem to be pretty good about keeping people on their toes and not getting caught with a singular style.
Definitely here for the loot and not for the name. Is there anyone with horns besides me? Any tieflings or dragonborns could have horns too?
There's a couple people with horns. There's it looks like there is a tiefling with like grayish skin, sitting down drinking some champagne next to a super well dressed human male. And then it seems like one of the security guards over near some of the artifacts, just standing there with a spear in his hand. It's a dragonborn. He has horns as well.
Yep.
Two different types. One has like spirally horns, and one has kind of short curved horns. The dragonborn has the short curved horns.
Did any of them fit the horns that we saw in the pictures?
Not quite. Not quite. The horns that you saw in the picture, which I should have described, so I apologize. They're kind of goat-like, where they go out, kind of like Loki horns.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what you're going for. In the meantime, do you want to approach any of the artifacts to check them out? Do you want to approach any people that I've described, or need any more description of the area? Or do you want to go anywhere in the building?
You know what? I will talk to the one who was announcing earlier if she's available.
Gotcha. So you go over and you approach a small circle of people surrounding a halfling woman, and she's a pretty ugly little thing. She's very wrinkled, has scraggly hair. You're looking at her, you're like, yeah, you're definitely an artist, you know. Yeah, so she's talking to these people, very, very in the middle of conversation, but she sees you approach. She goes,
Oh, thank you for showing up. I don't believe I've had the pleasure. What's your name?
Nor have I. Folks call me Daniel. Daniel. Last name's Soul. We're here.
Yes. Well, I hope you enjoy my exhibit. Have you helped yourself to any refreshments?
Not yet, but we might in the future. We're actually here to help make sure nothing will go wrong, as per to speak. If you would be willing to talk a little bit more privately about something like that.
Oh, well, I would very much like to have some company with me for my own safety, you understand?
Of course. I just not in public.
Yes. Well, we could step over near my bodyguard over here if that is going
fine.
to satisfy you. Are you here with someone?
Yes, I imagine Nick is following me.
yes. Yeah, and Nick actually goes, yes, ma'am. We're actually we're with Eichel. We're here on. Well, that's kind of what we'd like to talk with you about. It's all the same. You're not in trouble by all means. We would just like to ensure your safety the best we can.
Oh heavens. Yes, of course. Right this way. And
you guys step over, and you're now near the one bodyguard I described, the Dragonborn bodyguard I described to you, as well as two artifacts, a purple one and a little golden pendant. And she goes,
gentlemen, what is this all about? Please don't tell me something's to go awry at the opening of my exhibit.
There's a good chance. We believe that this might be the target for some unsavory fellows who've, of course, been chasing recently. I was wondering if you may know of any weak, how to say, what are your precautions against anyone trying to do something to steal your artifacts?
Well, The building's very secure. The only entrances are the side entrance, the front. We have security around the building at all times. We are aware that there's very valuable artifacts in here, but we've paid the utmost expenses to defend them from the wrong hands. Oh, this is quite worrisome.
Everything should be fine. By the name of Tyr, I will make sure at least your artifacts will be safe tonight.
Bless you, Tiefling. I appreciate that, and I hope Tyr's blessing is not needed this evening. Were there any more questions?
I do want to actually, while I ask this one, I want to like examine one of them. I want to make sure like they haven't already been taken. Like they look what I'm looking for.
Authentic.
Correct. Authentic. Yeah, that's the word.
I got you. Yeah. So you got. I mean, are you looking specifically at the eye, or are you wanting to look at just anything?
The closest one at first,
Okay.
while I ask the question.
Yeah. So the closest to you is there's a pendant on a little cushion stand. And then there's this little weird purple spaghetti-looking statuette. That it looks like an artist made it, you know. But yeah, you got those two. Do you want to run an investigation check on it? Would that be investigation or perception or I don't know?
I would imagine it would be perception because investigations is more hands-on, and there's no way. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, roll perception check for it.
Natural 20.
Nat 20, nice. From what you can see, both items seem to be good. They seem to be good. The purple thing seems to be made of some kind of a twisted metal thing. Like it would be way too hard to replicate, like to where it would be worth it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The other one you actually sort of recognize. It's an Aldervinian pendant from the country of Aldervin. But yeah, they both look very genuine to you. It seems that the guards have been doing their job.
I'll do that. I'll just ask hers. And I see the artifacts are indeed what they should be, but nothing's happened. Nothing's odd. It looks like on the casings or sort. Like nothing's been tampered with. It looks like.
Oh, no, we've had guards around the clock since we opened, and everything seems to be in place.
All right. Thank you for your. Oh, Nick, what are you saying?
Yes, of course. I was just going to ask, do you plan on bidding at the auction at all? Are you participating?
Do I have money?
Yeah, you got money. You got this is before the island. So you've been working, you've been saving up. You got 1,000 gold on you.
1,000 gold. Ooh.
Yeah, 1,000 gold on you. Yeah.
All right. I might. One of the items has caught my eye of sorts.
Oh, understood. Well, let it be known all the funds go towards the local orphanage to support them in this time of need. So all funds are greatly appreciated.
Well, that's convinced me that for sure I will be bidding this day.
Oh, great. We love to hear that. Help yourself to champagne or wine or whatever you need. We should be beginning shortly, okay?
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Thank you, gentlemen.
And Nick goes, "Thank you, Mom." And she kind of hops away and goes back to her little group and everything. And Nick leans over to you and goes, "That woman is definitely an artist." And in the meantime, are you thinking about bidding on that eye of Tyr?
I'm not sure if I trust many people with that. Rich or poor, anyone could be evil, so.
Well, my friend, you've had a good eye for unsavory characters in the past, so I would certainly trust your judgment on them.
Okay.
And with that, there is a little ding, 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 ding of a glass at the front, and the halfling woman is standing up.
Hold on real quick.
Yes.
I was just the two exits. Which one is closer to the main bidding area?
The side exit, which is the one where I said you're not quite sure what's beyond it, but I mean, she said it's an exit, so it's yeah.
Okay, so I have to talk to Nick. Be like, if you set yourself by the front exit, I would watch the side exit just in case anyone does try to leave in a hurry. You can exit there.
Yeah, sure thinking. I'll head over there and give me a signal, and I'll help out best I can. This is really your investigation. I'm just here to support you, friend.
Thank you.
Of course. So he heads over there. He, starts keeping a lookout and everything. But yeah, the lady hops up and ding, 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 ding. She goes,
Everyone have a seat. The auction will be starting soon.
and would you like to take a seat or like to do anything?
I don't know about like protocol, but do you think they'd be okay with me bidding while standing up?
Yeah. Where would you like to stand up is the question.
It's as close to the door as possible, so I can keep my eye on it. Of course.
The door you entered from?
No. The side entrance, the one that's not being covered.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you wanted Daniel? Oh, excuse me, not Daniel. You wanted Nick to stand next to the other one? Like you want to cover both of them, or did you both want to be next to the same one?
I want both of them to be covered.
Okay. All right. So we'll put you next to. So the one that you're next to, as long as I'm understanding, the one that people were going in and out of earlier.
All right.
That one seems to lead to a small hallway where you see a door on your right and a door on your left. The door on your left is leading to a staircase that goes up to the balcony.
Okay.
So you just want to stand there?
Imagine it'd be around maybe level 1 here. Have my spell slots what I have at level 1. I'll be level 1, right?
What's that?
In this right now, I'll be level 1 paladin, right?
Yes.
See what
Which I forgot to tell you that, so good catch, but yeah.
We don't actually have spellcasting yet. All right. My eyes will be mainly watching, but my ears are going to be focusing on the bidding.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. So, the bidding begins, and the first thing they start bidding off on is it's called the Liftilian Flower. It's by Galvici herself, the artist. It's a large painting. Best I can describe it is kind of like the Van Gogh painting of like those flowers in the pot type thing, but they're fictional flowers. And they start bidding at it. And starting bid is 200 gold. Goes up to 300. Goes up to 400. While you're standing there, there's a man in the back row sitting next to you. It's the one that was dressed very nicely I mentioned earlier. And he seems to be very prestigious, middle-aged gentleman. Got black salt and pepper hair, black hair with gray on the sides, and he looks over to you. He goes, "They needed bodyguards, I see. You expecting trouble tonight?"
Not much, but there's no harm in protection, just in case something does go awry, I would say.
Of course. Well, what's your name, young one?
Folks call me Daniel. And you?
Damon. Lord Damon.
I see. Anyway,
Is there anything I should be worried about in particular?
maybe keep your eyes out for any mysterious fellows. Anyone you would say suspicious. If you see anything like that, just come to me and we'll see what we can do.
I'll keep my eye out for one more suspicious than a tiefling standing next to a staircase door. I'll let you know if I see one.
Thank you.
Of course. 500. He goes ahead and he bids on the painting and everything, and keeps going. And eventually, the painting does get sold, not to him, and he's not too upset by it. He clearly has enough to make it worth his while. Whoopsies! I bumped stuff. Everything seems to be going on pretty fine. The bids continue, and they move on to the that purple statuette. Bidding starts at 100 gold, and soon moves up to 150, moves up to 200. By the way, if I'm ever doing these bids and I'm naming numbers, just raise your hand and I'll know that you're interested, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes to 200, 250, then it goes to 400, and eventually someone buys it for 500. And Galvishi goes,
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're all amazing. Yes. Now, this Aldovinian pendant, straight from the motherland of Aldovin, been preserved very nicely, been polished by our finest craftsmen. Who will give 200 for this? 200, anyone?
and a few hands go up, and they continue. Give me a perception roll, please.
That's a nat one.
Not one. Okay. All right. So you're pretty focused on kind of the audience at the moment.
I'm playing my
you-
computer, but I'm listening.
Yeah, you're fine. You glance over and you're scanning the room, and as you're watching everyone bidding and stuff like that, you notice that Nick is not where he was before. He's actually walking around the back of the room and coming towards you. Seems to have some appropriately hidden urgency in his eyes. Oh, excuse me.